Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sam the SLB, and alongside me today is the man behind the Twitter, wrestling's voice of reason, Scott, as well as the third man, the man in black himself, my co-host from ATR Rising Sun, Ethan. We're coming from you from above the ring, our premiere wrestling show. There's a lot of things going on. So, yeah, end of the year. It's Final Bedlam 3. Scott and I did this 3 years ago after a Final Battle podcast. I'm like, oh, let's call the last one Final Bedlam. It works. So this is our end of year show. Normal format. We got nothing going on. We're just going to, this is it, guys. 2023.
Shoot the shit, pal.
First and foremost, I do want to start, and I've said this on the Rising Sun episode. If you didn't watch the World Tag League episode, Ethan, you've been a wonderful addition to the ATR family. The New Japan stuff has been awesome with you, and we plan on continuing this going into next year. Obviously, we have our mini-series we're working on that revolves around Japanese wrestling promotions that you and I are working on. So, again, thank you.
Looking forward to again. I can't wait. Let's do this. So, and by the way, I'm on a tablet, so that's why if you're wondering why there's no... If I look weird, that's why.
I look weird,
well, you look weird because you're from Canada, so you know. It is what it
is. So,
very funny.
I love you.
You know what I want to start off with? Because, there's a lot of things we can talk about here. The first thing I did want to ask, because it came up, we haven't really been doing news segments because of, time constraints and everything going on right now, past couple of months. The one thing that had come up recently, Ethan, you posted this. It's almost like this new Japanese wrestling promotion body that was just announced.
That's right. I remember seeing that in the group chat.
So I want you to elaborate on that more because I'm very curious.
Well, after coming up there, but yeah, they're doing. It's like not really a union group. I didn't really. I just saw that and got too excited. I'm like, hey guys, look. But basically, they're doing like a group, but not group show. Joint show. That's what it's supposed to. Or a group show, I guess. Close enough. Anyway, basically, they're doing like a joint show in like May. So it's like it's like Stardom, Dragon Gate. Hold on, I got the picture here. I'm gonna blank half these fucking promotions.
There was like 7 or 8 of them. There was a whole bunch of them. I was like, holy.
There was a whole bunch.
I do have the statement from New Japan here from December 15th.
Yeah, you start reading that, Sam, and then once I find the picture, I'll talk about the promotions. But you read the.
Yeah, I'll read this.
Oh.
So,
okay, I got. But you do your first, and I'll read the promotions.
All right. So, New Japan Pro Wrestling today announces that it is one of the 9 organizations that will constitute United Japan Pro Wrestling, a new industry group representing professional wrestling in Japan. Without an industry-wide group for professional wrestling in Japan, the unprecedented crisis of the COVID-19 pandemic made it all more clear that there was a need to consolidate and express accurate information and best operating practices between promotions, as well as to communicate effectively with national and municipal governments in a bid to better anticipate and adapt to societal changes in the future. 9 Japanese promotions at the forefront of pro wrestling in the country will be part of the collective industry group, henceforth the group. The mission statement, core tenets I'll get. So yeah, they're just forming this governing body. I maybe just to I said NWA, Japanese NWA, like that's what it almost sounds like, but probably not as like, hey, we're gonna have this belt and this and that and go back and forth. I don't know.
Oh, so the promotions are obviously New Japan, All Japan Pro Wrestling Noah, DDT Pro Wrestling, Gonprei Bear Pro Wrestling, Big Japan Pro Wrestling, Dragon Gate, Stardom, and Tokyo Joshi.
Pretty much anyone who's anybody right now in Japan. I know
the big ones, pretty much.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of wrestling promotions over in Japan, maybe more so than in the States.
Oh my god! There's a list. But
yeah, but like
that's a separate episode.
I'd be like the Pokemon rap. We'll create our own rap for that, even. We'll make sure that happens. But anyways,
I need to hear that immediately.
Speaking of NWA, they're doing territories now. They're bringing back the territories.
Oh Christ!
Yep. They got one promotion. It's Exodus Pro Wrestling, EXDO US. Exodus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah, they got another promotion. I think it's one of their superstars like schools, like little promotions.
Oh, okay.
So
I think at the territory level, or at least the indie level, if you will, I think that makes sense. Probably makes it a lot easier for like talent to go back and forth and make a name for themselves. You know, are you going to say, oh, they're going to, you know, it's not going to compete with WWE or AEW or Impact, but I think this is a good way to kind of like strengthen the network of the indies.
Right. Yeah. I kind of hope that, you know, stuff like that happens in like New England, because there's like, I don't know, I can throw a rock, especially like in Massachusetts. I could throw a rock and hit like 16 different indie wrestling promotions. I know up here in Vermont, there's 2 now, which is great because it's 50% more than there was the year before, which is nice. So I'm hoping that things continue to grow. Yeah, I kind of like that actually. I hope that the territory thing kind of grows and kind of comes back. Obviously, I know the big guys are going to do what they're going to do, but you know, on the indie level, I think that'd be good for everybody to work together.
Because like the only Massachusetts indies, there's like Defies in Seattle. I mean, like Enjoy Wrestling and Beyond and stuff, and then Vermont. The only one I knew was ETWA, only because Scott.
Yeah, there's ETWA, and now there's Green Mountain Wrestling. So they're
Green. That was the one I was trying to think of. I forgot the second one.
There's also
I
Chaotic.
still get to go to one of their shows. I have to.
Chaotic. That was the other one. Thank you, Sam. That was the third one I was trying to think of.
Chaotic was another one. Who is the who won't leave me alone? So who was the? Oh, and I think Top Rope out of Fall
Top
River.
Rope's another.
That's the big.
Are they still around? I thought they defunct during COVID.
No, they're still around. It's funny. When I tried out to join a wrestling school, I went there twice. And where their training facility, it's like in some like police armory in the middle of the city. So you go up like 3 flights of stairs, and there's just a wrestling ring in this empty room.
Ta-da!
Ow! Can you not? Your claws are getting into me. So go. Ah. So no, I'm curious. I'm happy to see this.
I was brought that because Sam said NWA territory. I'm like, oh, actually, that was a good segue.
That's what Final Bedlam's all about. We just bounce around from topic to topic.
Well,
2023, baby.
While we're sitting here on NWA quickly, Ethan, we just said something before we started recording. Let's list off all of the NWA titles. We got a list.
Yeah, my favorite thing. All right, now make sure I don't make a whoopsies. I'm gonna type in our source, Wikipedia.
Of course,
and make sure the only one. They're not defunct, because going through defunct titles, that's a totally different monster.
Oh my god, that Sam, we'll be here all day talking about it. Anyway, so the active titles are the World Heavyweight title, EC3, Women's title, Kinsey Page, she's really good. Men's TV title held by Mims. There's 2 TV titles, by the way. World Tag titles held by who is the current champs? Oh, Blood Force Drama. Yeah, Blood Force Drama. There we go. LA Knight. But I'm rock like yeah. Women's tag titles, national title. That's like their Intercontinental title, or whatever. Junior weight title, U.S. tag titles, and women's television title.
So many titles.
Hey, now CMLL has like 35.
Well, I know, but I mean, it's Mexican wrestling. Everybody is.
They get it back.
So they all deserve titles.
Yep.
Well, I mean, CMLL, like, because they got like obviously their own, and they got like outside branch, like Mexican National and other stuff.
Yeah.
But official CMLL like branding, there's like 10 or 12, which I mean that's not bad.
That's so much though.
But when we talk about Final Battle, I'm gonna rant about the matches because too many. But we had 5 DNCs.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a Tony Khan special right there. You know, how many more matches can you throw in before
2 of them were literally on the show. Actually, you know what? Let's go into it now because we're talking about it.
Yeah, we're not going to go too crazy, but yeah, kick us off here, Ethan.
All right, well, I'll just talk about the matches and ratings and talk about Ethan picks. Well, spoiler, Scott won, so congratulations, Scott.
Of course.
But one match It literally came down to Scott said it came down to the main event. I think that's the closest we've been, I think, since Survivor Series, maybe.
Yeah, it's been within like 2 or 3. But yeah, this one, being within 1.
Like we were all like clean sweeping, and the TV title. Bro, that's the only match.
We all expected the mystery person to be somebody big, and ended up being just.
Well, Sam picked Dalton Castle, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, Dalton was obviously my second pick too. If I didn't notice it was a to be determined, I would have been like, "Oh, Dalton."
It's like Zach said Dalton Castle. He's like, "I love Dalton Castle, but when I see mystery person, I gotta pick." I'm like, "Zach, stop stealing my answers, bro. Stop stealing my picks." Anyway, so pre-show, Tyler Falker to be Josh Miller. That's a 4 out of 10. That only went like 4.5 minutes. That didn't count, by the way. Von Erichs was Outrunners. That pick actually went. Von Erichs won. Obviously, they're in Texas. So, TV title qualified match: Brian Keith defeating Jack Cartwheel. That's what I actually didn't mind, like being on the pre-show.
Yeah,
because you had to figure. I thought the mystery person was Giant TV because they've been viewed. Him and Castleman viewed on Ring of Honor. So I kind of figured. But I'll get to more Giant TV in a second. And this was literally added last minute. So TK came out. Double Jay Briscoe has been 20 years, like since Brian Nielsen's been Ring of Honor, except since his match with Jay Briscoe. Top of last year's match. That was my number 1 pick for 2022, by the way. The dog collar ones. I forgot to get for a second. The dog collar disclaimer. So Daniel Garcia gets winner with Blake Christian. That. You know what? For a 12-minute last-minute match, it was actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. So main show AAA title El Hidro Vikingo retains over Black Taurus. 8 out of 10 Ethan pick. 6-minute tag title match. Mogul Embassy defeating DMDK. 6 out of 10. I quit match Ethan Page v Tony. This went 20 minutes, but I kind of wish they cut like 5 minutes.
I'm sorry. I love Ethan Page and I like Tony Nese, but there's no need for that match to be 20 minutes long. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I quit. No, but so part of the match, so Mark Sherwood had to be handcuffed, and then he didn't want, the heel. I don't want to, and then Mark Henry came out. I mean, Mark Henry, world's strongest man.
It's Mark Henry.
I'm not scared of much people, but I don't want to piss him off. He might break me in half.
Somebody's gonna get their ass kicked.
So somebody gonna get their ass kicked. Anyway, so Mark Henry, Mark Sterling. Too many marks in AEW. No pun intended. So basically, Mark Sterling got away from the handcuffs, and then obviously the heels beat them. Scorpio Sky returns, and Little Men in the Year reunion.
Nice.
But Ethan Page did what, but honestly, like Scott, it did not need to go 20 minutes. It should have went maybe cut 5 minutes at the most. But it did not need to go 20 minutes either. By the way, Garcia and Christian didn't count because last minute. Same with Keith and Cartwheel. The other match that didn't count was Nyla Rose for Vixen. That was a 3 out of 10 because it did not. It went 2.5 minutes. That was the shortest match on the 15-match show.
15.
TV talk. Well, no, I'll get to why it was 15 in a second. TV title. This is literally Scott's only match wrong. So the mystery person was Brian Keith, obviously. Right. But Kyle Fletcher wins last time Commander. I should have picked Fletcher. God damn it. I should have changed my pick. But so Don Castle was the favorite, and so Giant TV came up and like distracted him, and then Lee Moore eliminated, and people were pissed. And then Brian Keith got eliminated by Fletcher, and people booed. Well, I mean, they're in Texas, so I kind of figured. But Kyle Fletcher, I mean, hey, I'm not mad with Fletcher.
No, I mean, that's a good pick for a champion. So
that match went 25 minutes. And then Pierre Tom match, Wheeler to beat Tom Lawler. Poor Sam, only one who picked Lawler. But I would be mad though if he actually held the title. In the battle of the big meaty man slapping meat, Haas division. Oh, bye, Sam. Keith defeating Shane Taylor. So originally, Blackpool coming up first. FTL Murphy went to a double count. That went 18 minutes, 51 seconds, and then they did basically Mark's like, no, fuck this. This is Jay's honor. We're gonna do this fight without honor.
Yep.
Street fight, basically. So match got restarted, and then FTR Mark Briscoe won. The fight without honor part went 10 minutes. So what's that, like 38 minutes altogether?
Yeah.
Almost 40 minutes. I'm just gonna wrap it up. So, but I just count as one match. So 8 out of 10. That was actually really fun. A few people booed because they thought like that was it. Like,
yeah.
And then they're like boo, and then everybody's like, no, hang on. But it's when they originally announced the match. It said like how you've probably seen some football, like it's like if it's a title, like they have a little line and it's just like pure title or like whatever. It originally said fight without honor. I was like, huh. But yeah, it's I don't know. Anyway, Perfect Grab match. This was literally the last match I didn't count because it was literally last minute. Eddie Kingston defeating Anthony Henry, and that one's 5 out of 10. And in the main event, this was literally basically the tiebreaker. It was you. If Scott and Sam gets me and Zach, me and Zach had Billy said my brain's not working right now. Anyway, so Scott and Sam won that one because Adia retained a 28 and a half minutes. 9 out of 10, by the way. That's an Ethan pick.
I heard that was a really good match.
That one was. It came out. I think it came out like with a Bane mask.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually pretty badass.
Nice. I really do like what they're doing with Athena. I wish I had the time to watch ROH wrestling because I would. I just don't.
That show went 5 hours and 5 minutes.
That's a long time.
Well, it's because they were on Honor Club, so you kind of could get away with that. But right. It did not. It did not need to go that long. Well, the 4 longest matches was the Jay Briscoe tribute match. I'm just combining it, so
yeah.
Which it went by quick. I'm not complaining. The women's title match 120. That was a quick one too, actually. Like I said, the I Quit what's good. Don't get me wrong, but I just wish they cut like 5-6 minutes. It did not need to go 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, 20:05, but who cares about the seconds? And then the Survival of the Fittest, that went almost half an hour. But again, that one didn't really need to go half an hour either. To be honest with you, that should have been cut 5-10 minutes too. But Fletcher won. I'm not complaining.
Yeah,
it was down to him and Commander because like I seen it. I was like, well, hey guys, we all lost.
Pretty much, yeah. I was like, well, shit.
Well, Stan was out second. He was the third pick out.
And
then I think we were. I was like, damn it.
I mean, I'm surprised that he lasted as long as he did, but it is what it is. That
one was hard for me to pick in a way because like we didn't really know the 6th person. And like I said, I kind of wish it was Johnny TV in a way, just because like
he's
here with Castle.
Like he got involved, he got Dalton eliminated, so that way now that feud will continue to go on. I kind of wish that was on actual AEW television because I love Dalton Castle. I love the whole. I love extravagant wrestlers. Like when they go above and beyond for their gimmick, I'm all for it because most of the time they're really hilarious. So I don't know. It's kind of too bad that they're stuck behind Honor Club and not on national television because I feel like if it's a good feud, it's better than some of the stuff that's on TV now. So
it is. It's fine. So, like Don Castle, like sometimes, like he can be a tiny bit. But we all can be like that, right? But it was funny. I think it was the last episode. They were like, Cat's like, I'm gonna win the TV, like going crazy and stuff. It's just, and then Johnny TV's like, no, I am making TV puns because Johnny TV. And then Tom Falker walks in and basically, anybody who's married or got a girlfriend that goes in girlfriend mode, and she's like, this is my man. I'm like, you know what? All good. Yeah, we're putting them together. Yay!
I know it's nice that they actually did that because I was wondering how long that would take before they would actually, but everybody who follows wrestling to any degree outside of like just, a casual, a super casual fan, that those two are together. So it's nice to see them on TV and they can do some ridiculous stuff together. So
guess what? It was during their match. Sorry, Scott, I didn't mean to cut you off. And so the boys, obviously, the boys, they're like sitting there. So Ty comes down. I'm like, oh, okay. Are they gonna like tease us? Because we seen an Impact and no, not WWE because she was in NXT for like a month.
Yeah, for a cup of coffee. Yeah, I know.
Cup of coffee, and I think Morris was barely on TV anyway during that time, and she came down, and the boys are like, nope, and she's like, spears in heels too, and, high heel boots. I'm like, I know you're like Canadian, and also you're loca because you wrestled AAA for the longest time, but I don't want to like 12-inch heel boot going up my ass.
No.
And then Cal's like, "Oh, my boys!" He's great. He should be on TV more, though. I do agree, though.
What I'm saying, like, it's just, yeah.
Well, remember that whole CW deal? We thought like NWA was going on, and then WWE got it for NXT. Apparently, Ring of Honor got offered, and TK refused.
Well, he has that like exclusive deal with Warner Brothers, so I mean that kind of I guess makes sense because I don't believe CW is part of Warner Brothers. So
I'm not 100%. I do have it here, but one of those shows I rarely ever watch.
Yeah,
it's just there. To be honest with you,
I know, like, the CW also, at least down here in the States, the CW has Women of Wrestling too. So
yeah.
I watched that for a long time too, and then I again don't have a lot of time, so I didn't.
No, I know I do watch a lot of wrestling, but there's some I'm like, I can't. Like, not a bad thing. It's just like you said, I don't really. I got my own wrestling stuff I gotta do anyways. I'm like, I don't got time for you. I don't got time for you.
And I hate it. There's not enough time in the day to watch all the wrestling that I'd love to be able to watch. But
I heard one wrestling is pretty good though. I mean, what I blank her name? AJ Lee. Wow, I blanked on her name.
She's one of the executive producers of the show. It is really good. It's funny that you can tell the wrestlers that are like really good at their craft, and then you can tell the ones that are still learning. And it's not like it's terrible. It's not terrible television, but like there's a big difference between the really good and the I'm still learning how to wrestle things. But but they do a good job with their editing and everything else to make things look, as crisp as it can. So I'm really hopeful that they'll continue to do well, especially on CW and beyond.
It's well, going over that Impact. So the joke, remember, we always say taping season because it's basically Christmas time. So NXT taped 2 of their episodes for this week coming in the last Wednesday of the year, which I thought, because I knew they were doing one, like the one before Christmas. I didn't know if they were going to do live after or to say screw it and just do a tape.
Right.
But apparently they did 2 sets of episodes. I mean, fair. I mean, I can't blame. I mean, they got a lot of international wrestlers, right? So they probably got to take a while to get home.
Give them time to go home, spend time with their family, and for the new year and whatnot. So,
and then SmackDown taped last night.
Yep.
Or Friday. Sorry, Friday. I forgot. Friday. I forgot Sunday. I'm not used to Sunday podcast. I'm not gonna lie. And it impacted in like a Hidden Gems one Thursday, so they took other old taping shows from like this past year and obviously make a little Hidden Gem.
Yeah.
They did Alexander Yuya Moore. If you have time, go watch it. That was actually really fun. It's only 15 minutes. Quick 15-minute watch. I mean, if you got time. I mean, if you don't, I mean, it's whatever. It's from September anyway, so.
Cool.
Quick watch. But I was like, Alexander, put him in G1. Screw it. Your turn, Sam.
Uh-oh. Sam's volume's not working. Gotta love technical difficulties. Live recordings. It's always fun. It's a good time.
We're live, pal. I'm just waiting for my laptop here. Don't want to jinx it. Oh,
there you go.
I heard that time. Back in black.
Sorry about that. I had to walk away for a minute.
Yeah, I know you did because you went away. I'm like, I think did you get a me and crash?
Well, I put it in the chat. I was trying to be indiscreet about it. I put it in the chat. I'm like, gotta walk away for a minute. No, in the restream chat.
Oh, I never got it.
Weird.
It might be because it's on the tablet. So
yeah, that's part why.
I saw it, so that's why I saw it. Yeah,
it's weird not talking to the microphone.
So, 2023. Let's talk. I know we talked about doing something like best ofs or whatnot, but let's make this quick and painless. Let's not go every single little thing that we love the most. If you had to pick one match this year, top of your head, one
Ethan's
match.
Having a heart attack at the moment.
I know Ethan. I got my 500.
No, I had almost 650.
My God.
That's a lot.
Sam, I love you, man, but why?
No, off the top of your head. Well, is there something that stuck out? I mean,
if I had to pick one, it might not be number one. Kenny and Will from Forbidden Door.
Interesting. Yeah, it was either one of those two, and there's another match that came up. I just thought
Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus at WrestleMania was really good.
That was mine.
That
was everything that I wanted in a Haas fight. Beautifully done.
Both main events at Mania from night 1 and night 2.
That's true too.
Because don't forget, we had that incredible tag team match.
Yes,
between the Usos.
I like the night one a little bit better than night 2. Just I talked about during the post show, but that's in the past. That's whatever.
You're just upset because you don't acknowledge our tribal chief. That's why.
Yeah, well, I figure, but I just want Cody to win. But he'll make it up. It's fine.
It's true.
I think for me, I've said this, and I've said it a million times. I've said it on the show. The thing for me that came down with the match is not the fact that Roman won, not the fact that Solo Sikoa, intervened, but the fact that he didn't even try to pretend that he was nowhere near the ring.
Right.
I've seen matches restarted for less.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I was just like, bro, he just 1, 2, 3, ding, 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 and now he's on the mat, and the ref is. And I get it, the refs are supposed to almost be I don't know, NPCs and be like,
I'm blind, I'm deaf, I want to be a ref.
But it's it was one of those things where you looked at it, I was just kind of like,
wah, wah, wah.
But everything else about that match, superb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can probably chalk up that to Solo's inexperience. If they were to do that this year, I'm pretty sure Solo would try to disappear. So I think that's really what it was. But you're right, though. I mean, it was a glaring problem that you really couldn't overlook.
Don't get me wrong, I did like the match. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know, referee kicks him out, and then what was it 5-10 minutes later? He's surprise.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then someone threw a rubber chicken at Cody.
Oh my god, I know that was.
I thought so. Everybody talked about that for 5, and then everybody was like, "Did anybody see a rubber chicken?"
Yeah. Flying into the ring.
You want to see my chicken? I'm like, oh, poor Cody, man. I felt so bad. He wasn't happy. You could just tell he was kind of pissed.
Either that or he was acting because he knew what was up. So it's the redemption story. You got to break them down to build them back up.
Well, we'll do the Rumble predictions. I got my 3. It's 3 picks for the Rumble that we do. I can't keep track anymore of these fucking multi-man picks.
Right.
Well,
nice
the Rumble's the big one. That's. I think we do 3 specifically because it's 30 men. You'll do. Maybe we should just make a number because for every 10 men in a match, it's a pick. Yep.
Actually, speaking of the Rumble, do you want some stats on entrants who haven't won the Rumble?
Is this most to appear in a match but have never won it kind of stats?
No, entrants numbers that haven't won a Rumble, number 2 or
Oh yeah, no, I'd be interested in that because I know number 26 or 28 is
27 is the. Well, I think it might even that actually might be
27 and 30 are the top.
Yeah, which 30 never used to win, and now all of a sudden 30s are winning a lot. I'm like, come on, don't be lazy.
Do something else. 1 sec, I'm gonna try to join the laptop there. Let me know if that comes up. I might have to leave the tablet part for that.
Multiple Ethans on the show.
Okay, hang on 1 sec. You guys keep talking. I'll get this uploaded, and you guys keep talking for a sec.
Yeah. I'm drawing a blank. I mean, with my surgery this year, and moving into the house at the beginning of the year, there's definitely. I know there's other matches where I just went, man, that was incredible. And it wasn't just obviously my primary product has been WWE, or New Japan. Oh, if I want to talk New Japan, which Tanahashi match? What am I thinking of from was it the best of the Super Juniors? Was it him and Leo Rush? Or is it him?
Hiromu?
Huh?
Did you say Hiroshi or Hiromu?
You know who I meant.
Yeah, I know who. Yeah, him and Leo Rush had a match at the New Japan Cup Finals, and then they had one in Best Super Juniors, and then him and Mike Bailey had a banger. I mean, Mike Bailey had a bunch of bangers in his block.
I'm really happy from Mike Bailey. He's been obscure for a while, and then this last like year and a half, like he's really started to come into the mainstream, and it's just like I love it. I love it.
Mike Bailey, if I'm gonna take somebody who underdog or like best, whatever, somebody who's not like at the top but really just deserves the spotlight, Mike Bailey's my pick.
Okay, I got the Rumble picks up here. I'll tell you the entrance who have won. So number 4 hasn't won. Number 6, 7, 9, 11, and 12, 15, 20, 21, and 26 are the only ones who
never won. Interesting. 27 is the most. Like, oh, that's very interesting.
27 and 30. No, actually, it's got 30. Has the most of 5. Because Taker won in 07, Cena in 08, Triple H in 16, Lesnar 22, and Cody in 23.
It's clever that Undertaker would be the one to beat that streak.
And then 27, 28 have the most with 4. And
what's number 1?
And number 1 has 4 because Michaels in 95.
Yep.
Benoit in 04.
Yep.
Edge in 21 and Ripley last year.
Yep.
At 23 this year, technically. Sorry. So yeah, those 20. I was really looking at that because I was like, oh fuck. But yeah, like number 2 and 3 had 2 winners. Number 5 has 1. Number 8 has 1. 10 has 1. 13 has got 1. And I'm like, okay, let's get more of these numbers. I feel like they're gonna break all these numbers by at least in the next couple of years.
They need to. So that's the thing with Rumble. I mean, I like how we have like that really random number 27. That's like, that's always been the coveted number.
Yeah.
Number 1, yeah, they'll always do the long game, who can stay in the Rumble the longest, or number 30, they're the ones who lucked out because they got the last straw and they can, go in and win. But sometimes it's like, it's predictable. It's like when you see there's some Rumbles who was it when I think Edge was one of those where he came out at number 1 and they made the big announcement about it, and you're just like,
yeah, the 2021 men's one, because him and Orton started, and then Orton like fucked off for half the match, and then he came back.
Yeah, but it was like one of those where I think it was kind of one of those. It's Edge. Yeah. It's gonna be Edge.
Yep.
No.
Some people can say about Cody too, though.
Yeah, like the whole build up to last year's Rumble was just, I don't know. I understand the fact that they wanted to say Cody's returning at the Rumble after his injury, after his beautiful trilogy with Seth Rollins. But I hated the fact that they ruined that surprise for us. Like the Rumble, the best part about the Rumble is you don't know who's going to show up, especially in the women's Rumbles, because they are always pulling people from the past and bringing them in, whether they last 5 minutes or 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. It's great to see them. With the men, there's enough men on the roster where you could pick 5 people from NXT that are going to have great showings, and then 15 from the regular roster. But when you have like those returning superstars or debuts or even the one-offs, like I went to one of the Rumbles in Philly, and Bubba Ray Dudley comes out as number 3. Like the entire place, I literally felt the whole place almost explode.
That was a 15 Rumble, wasn't it?
It was a long time ago.
That was the one Roman Reigns won. Everybody hated.
Oh, I know. I know. But it's stuff like that. Like core memory. I'll never forget that. Like those are the reasons why you go to the Royal Rumble. Stuff like that. That's why I'm pushing Sam to make sure that he goes to Tampa or St. Pete to go to this one, because
I am. I
can happen.
I do have to buy tickets. It's funny. That's
hope an ATR sign, Sam. Go. I'm here. ATR.
Right? Well, it depends on where I'm at, because I mean they're playing in a. This is what I like about the Rumble, and again, I hope they kind of follow suit with the Survivor Series and SummerSlam. Okay, you don't have to do anything extravagant. So yes, Mania it's Mania. It's the big spectacle. We're gonna have the huge, crazy stage. I like the Rumble where we're gonna play in an arena or like a baseball stadium. But it's going to be a very simple entrance, because this is a sporting event. We're going to make it feel like you're at an event and that things are going to happen. And it's like the Super Bowl, giving you that feel.
Yeah.
And I hope they do it with SummerSlam. SummerSlam, I will never forget and this was one of my gripes with WWE in 2017. Actually, was this 2016? Might have been 2016. So I started watching. Again, I hadn't watched it in a while. And I watched Battleground. I'm like, Battleground was kind of cool. And I watched Raw and SmackDown, and I noticed, cool, we're using the same setup, but I guess, you want to be consistent for TV. Fair. And then SummerSlam, it's the party of the summer. I'm like, this is going to be so much fun. This is going to look good. And the fact that it was the same set from Raw and SmackDown, I was like,
yep.
I understand its production costs, but at the same time, it didn't feel special.
Right. It felt just like another show. I completely agree with you. I loved all the special sets that they would do.
The 2000
AEW
Rumble
did that at the beginning too. Everything was different, like full gear. Like I loved the whole thing about it. And obviously, Double or Nothing. You're in Vegas, so you're gonna have lots of gambling stuff. It's just they made it unique. It made it feel special. But yeah, for a good extended period of time, WWE's shows were just like, hey, let's throw the logo on the Titantron. That's about it. Thanks, guys.
Well, I remember what Fastlane. Literally, it was the same stage. Literally, they just put 2 cars on the side. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
but
I can make better stadiums in create a stadium on WWE 2K.
Right?
Come on.
And it doesn't.
Men's. Sorry to say. Back to what Scott was saying about Cody. That I kind of wish he came out earlier, not number 30.
Well, but if you don't announce he's there and then he comes out at 30, it's still a surprise. So
no, that's what I meant though. I kind of I knew he was coming. I just kind of wish either leave him as a surprise or have him not number 1, but maybe 20 or something. Because he only lasted what 5, 6 guys.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a logistical business side of it, which I kind of get, but I also don't get. So, for example, I'm going to go to AEW when Winter is Coming happens. They did not announce Sting. It was, I don't know. I don't even remember if there's rumblings about Sting coming. I don't remember, but I remember him coming out, and I
think it's rumors, but we're like, yeah, okay, whatever kind of thing.
But he came out, and it was just like everyone lost their minds.
Yeah.
Speaking of Cody, that's what he's saying.
And we have that moment where we can go or even to me, the greatest, and a lot of people are like, oh, it's CM Punk. I don't really care. No, that's nothing. Yeah, he came back to wrestling. Cool, whatever. To me, and this was the moment that I knew that this was not going to be a game. This was not going to be something that's short-lived. The end of Double or Nothing. When Jericho's like, I demand a thank you from you all. And then you see Jon Moxley walking down.
Yep.
Nobody knew. And I think I'm getting down my spine right now.
Yep.
Or like Adam Cole, because everyone knew Daniel Bryan was going to debut at All Out. But then everyone's like, it's going to be Daniel Bryan. Then it's all about the boot. Place goes nuts. But from a business perspective, when you do live TV, their thought process with this has always been, hey, if people don't know, they're not going to watch. So that's lower numbers for us. So you need to tell us so we can tell people.
Well, that was like what, was it Dynamite? Remember we thought Raj Strong came out and everybody's like, holy shit. His trying to look like he said Sean Ross Sapp.
Yeah.
So the right joke was. But I heard End of Heartache, and I think it was like when you 3 were, you 2 and John were doing the Dynamite streams. But I think it was before, week or 2 before I came on. For the streams, yeah. I was like, "Oh my god, it's Killswitch again!" Yes, but no one knew because we all thought he was still on a contract. I think Scott, me and you were talking about that for 20 minutes one night.
Yeah.
We're like, "Did you thought he was on contract?" I was like, "Oh, I did." You're like, "Yeah, I did."
They showed him on they showed him on NXT television in a hospital, maybe a month prior, and that was the first time we'd seen him on NXT in I don't know 6 months. And then it was just where the hell is Roddy?
He asked for release 3 times because I guess he didn't want to do the Creed brothers, not because of them, just I don't know. That was the rumor, and then he's like,
that was during the Vince time of NXT 2.0, and I try to forget that as much as possible because that nearly killed that brand. Just. The only good things to come out of NXT 2.0 are Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, and as much as I hate to say this, Grayson Waller.
And Braun Breaker.
I was going to say Braun Breaker, yeah.
And Braun Breaker, yes.
Because that's the person I associate 2.0 with.
And to Big Shred.
It's kind of like when you go back and watch the new generation, you know, the 94, 95, 96 years of WWE, you know, you think about, oh man, this is like the worst years, but who do you think of? Diesel, Razor Ramon, Shawn
Duke
Michaels,
Redemption Travesty.
you know, Undertaker. There is great talent there. But like it was just junk television.
Yeah.
But no, it's kind of what we're going back to. Like, so when you deal with surprises, yes, you can't do them all the time.
No.
You know, it's like Tony Khan with a special announcement. I got a special announcement coming up. Oh, cool. It's like when you're at work and you're on a meeting, it's like, oh, we're going to have a special meeting. You know, we're going to have a meeting this week. It's going to be a very important meeting. Yeah. For the past 6 months, every week we've had a very important meeting. And what has it been about? Nothing.
The best I can do is free pizza.
So, when you do something like that, I get it from a business standpoint. You want people to tune in. But if every single time it's like, hey, yo, so-and-so's coming back this week, you got to be like,
where's the surprise?
Awesome. And, you know, some people get freaked out about it. Some people are just like, oh, my God, they're coming back. I got to watch. And then that's all they care about.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get that excited moment. Let's use another example. Actually, this weekend, I didn't even watch Collision yet. And,
Good show.
I heard it was great. Actually, I've heard their numbers are actually, for as much crap as they get, their numbers are steadily going up.
Andrade and Claudia was the match of the night for me.
But like, there was the end of the women's match. And all I saw was she returns. And I don't know if it was an AEW video. I'm like, what are you talking about? I see.
I know what you're talking about.
And I'm like, she's been out forever.
You know, she's been on the Spanish team but it's funny. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy. So,
yeah.
Spoiler, Scott, sorry. So they show, you know how they do the commentary? They're like, hi, I'm Kevin Kelly, Nigel. It's funny how they showed the Spanish team because they rarely ever do that. And then they showed Thunder Rosa. I'm like, okay, maybe. Well, they were in Texas, so I figured, oh, home state girl, right? Then after the Abaddon match, again, spoiler. Sorry, Scott. Basically, like, they were, well, Sam, you saw the clip. Basically, like, Julia and, well, why am I blanking on the name? Sky Blue. And then they were attacking her, and then Thunder Rosa's like, all right, make my return. There's your spoiler, Scott, sorry.
But that's a moment.
After a year and a half.
Another one I can think about. All right, let's talk about one. I mean, we've been to plenty of them. You know, I was there when the Hardys returned to WWE. I will never forget that moment. I was when we were in Tampa. And then imagine if Tampa, they go, yeah, RVD will be here in Tampa tonight for the 200th episode of AEW. Everyone would be like, awesome, but like I'm just like, that's like Christmas is here. Hey, I got your gifts. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I want to tell you all of them, but you got to wait till Christmas to open them.
Yeah, exactly. That is perfect. Thank you.
I will. Okay, a good one. And again, we weren't there. I mean, you both probably watched it when it happened. The John Cena return at the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
You know, again, I think he was starting to hit that point where people were annoyed with him, and then he comes back and everyone lost their minds.
Yeah, because he was out of an injury that he should have been out for like 8-10 months, and he came back in like 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the 08 Rumble. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the Money Bank one first. Like that was in 21. No, but yeah, I remember that because it was like what, Scott, the end of 07, like October of 07 when he got injured.
Something like that, yeah.
Was that Carlito stabbed him or something?
No, that was in 04.
I forgot all about that angle.
No, it was Jesus Rodriguez. Come on, guys.
Oh man,
it was Jesus. But I remember that story. Well, that's not as bad as Shawn Michaels getting his ass kicked by former military man. Scott's like, that takes me back.
But no, I
wasn't alive for that storyline. I just seen YouTube clips.
But like, I get the Cody thing going. But this was the longest time. But like what Scott's saying, like to come back. Oh, I'm coming back at the Rumble. I'm going to be entrant number 30.
Yep.
That's exciting. But now I'm like,
yeah, it almost like, well, it did. It completely deflated all the excitement. Like I always look at, like, with the Rumbles, towards the beginning, there's normally a return, or like the number 3 spot is normally either a jobber or a special return. It's like almost every single time. And it's like you sometimes get something maybe towards the mid to later part of the 20s, like with Edge when he made his big return, which
that was awesome.
Man, that was nuts. And the fact that nobody really knew about it was even better. And those are the types of things. There was another year when Jericho made his return to WWE in the Rumble. I think as the number 2 spot. Again,
2013, yeah.
Nobody knew about it. Like I remember reading his book, and he said that he was so surprised that in that time that nobody nobody spoiled it. It was a complete utter surprise, and it was great. I live for those types of moments,
or even
those are the best things.
Or even I will even use I don't want to say lesser talent because he is very talented, but I remember at the height of NXT Gold, and I think it was 2017 or 2018 where they hit number 10, and then you hear Ty Dillinger's music go off.
17.
What? 17?
17.
Yeah, which was probably, you think about that Rumble, I will tell you, that's one that I go back to, and I think that was the most bland Rumble I had ever seen, because I think they announced everybody except for the NXT guys.
They announced pretty much everybody except for Taker. I think Taker was a surprise. Goldberg wasn't because Pete said he was. Ty Dillinger was one. I think he was the only NXT person, I think. I could be wrong on that. But and Rowan came out number 30, and everybody was pissed off because he had a Universal title match earlier in the show. Which, by the way, if you're in a world title match, either be in the world title match or be in the Rumble. Don't do both. I think that should be a rule.
No, I agree, 100%.
Yeah,
should be allowed to do both.
That's a match again. No, everyone was announced except for a couple of people, NXT people, and then every moment in that was so forced and set up. You knew. I think I could go back now and be like, "Oh, yep." If I can find 6 instances where you knew they were setting this up for Mania.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even exciting. It was like, "Oh yeah," and you're like,
"Yeah,
we got Brock and Goldberg."
It's like they weren't even trying. That's the sad thing. It was just like like you said, it was so predictable. It was just like, come on, guys, like Jesus Christ, do something.
I remember that Rumble because I was I like the Corbin eliminating Strowman. Like that was cool because Strowman was throwing everybody out.
Yeah.
But because that's that Brock, Sam says, Brock and Goldberg, Roman and Taker.
Yep, that was Roman and Taker. That was going into the 33.
Yeah, that's right. And then, excuse me. And then I saw Orton and Roman. I'm like,
yep.
Let's just pull Brett and Lex Luger. Let's have both of them win at this rate.
Yeah.
Or Cena Batista, and then they did a redo. But
now,
I remember that 05 Rumble. I was like, uh-oh.
Now, and this has become a Royal Rumble show very quickly. What'll be curious, and I hate reading people's notes because, especially now with Triple H,
sorry.
He's a smarter. I think he's a smarter individual where he will leak false information. And people, I read the internet. I'm going to say this is going to piss people off. The internet wrestling community sucks, and they're not critical thinkers at all.
No, they're not.
Because even Dave Meltzer, when people are like, "Oh, he's an idiot," we reported this wrong. I go, you ever think that he was given wrong information on purpose from somebody, and he's reporting on what he is given?
Yep.
I don't think Dave Meltzer is an idiot.
No.
Do I think he? First of all, I don't like people getting spoiled on anything, anyways.
Right.
But if that's your job, you're going to report on the information you got. So if you're wrong, I'm not going to go, "Hey, he's an idiot. He got it wrong." No, WWE, especially Triple H, is smart. He's going to be like,
"Tricked you."
Like the CM Punk thing. Don't want to talk about it too much, but nobody even none of us guessed he was coming back because we're like, he has so much bad blood in that company,
right?
And we have.
I think Zach just said that from point, honestly.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So he, but it'll be interesting to see. So I was reading something that says that CM Punk's return is not going to affect the Rumble outcome at the moment.
I don't know about that, bud.
I don't know.
I think Scott froze for a second. He's like,
No. Like, I was just saying the same.
No, not the kid technology. I mean, you're like, I'm like, uh-oh. I think Scott froze for a second, thinking.
This is gonna. I wonder if I should say this to the Rumble podcast, but I don't want to because I'm going to be there, so I don't know how this is going to work. Actually, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to record it because I have people in town that week. So, I'll just say this here. It's their decision if they want to change it. But I think if you're gonna take advantage of CM Punk coming and winning the Rumble and the main event in WrestleMania, when you have people like LA Knight who are on fire right now. And I don't think it'll be Cody. I think Cody's going to go in, and it's going to happen where, hypothetically, I think Cody's going to, it's going to, one reason or another, it's going to, he's going to become the number one contender. It's going to be like, well, you know what? Let's have let's Mania again, you and I, whatever. So to like ignore somebody like LA Knight, who for me, if I think about people who aren't currently holding a title or who aren't legends, I'll put CM Punk in the legend category because he's been around since he's pushing 20 years on his career. He's a legend. I don't think it does anyone any good. I think, and I don't know, LA Knight might be a better fit to win the IC title right now from Gunther.
I would not be opposed to that. Although, speaking of LA Knight, not to interrupt, but he looks to be about ready to enter a new feud that I think will really help his stock. The very end of SmackDown, we had a return. Mr. AJ Styles returns.
I saw that.
So
they don't want none. They don't want none.
AJ and LA Knight probably at the Rumble. AJ looks to be in like the best shape of his entire career. The Karrion Kross effect is definitely in complete effect. So we'll see. I don't know. Could be. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
All right. With that, Scott, you've slightly changed my mind. And maybe this is more of a pro LA Knight rant than anything, but LA Knight needs to be in a title picture or wrestling AJ Styles at Mania.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that'd be great.
Like that's
put him in a high profile match. He does, like you said, doesn't necessarily have to be wrestling for a title. I don't know who's gonna take. Well, even so, like he can't. He'd have to wrestle like whoever the U.S. champ is on SmackDown, and we all know Logan Paul is gonna get this high caliber match at the Royal Rumble, taking on whoever wins the United States tournament at the moment. But I don't know. Going forward after that, I would like to see. I would like to see LA Knight have kind of like a Cena type thing. Like you start with the mid card title, and then see how the year goes, and then run into next year. I know he's on the older side of things, but the man I think deserves to have some runs as a champion, either singles, tag, or the heavyweight. I think he's earned it with how the crowd is. They're still hot for him now. I mean, obviously now with Randy coming back after being out for 18 months, obviously him and Roman now are going to have their match at the Rumble, which is going to be amazing. I'm very excited that I get this. Well, I get to watch that on television. Sam, you get to watch that in person. So it's going to be good. Wrestling is, especially the WWE side, is really riding high right now, and it makes me very happy to see, especially after all those years just being in the complete and utter dumpster. It's so nice to see it on the other side of the fence now.
Yeah, no. What's been better than the last? It's been better than AEW lately. At times.
More times than not recently.
Yeah, I think with the AEW, and this is the thing that I was trying to explain to somebody, because I won't knock. So I see people who, again, the internet wrestling community sucks. Just gonna start calling it IWC sucks at the end of the year. That's gonna be my Festivus for ATR.
Like it's turning New Yorkers.
I don't hate the talent in WWE. I actually love the talent. And every time I want, and this is a personal thing of mine, I don't know what it is. So I finally was watching SmackDown, and actually I was talking to Mark, longtime listener, friend of the show, I'm referring to. I asked, I was just talking to him, and I'm like, I just need to even when the product is good, and it's been really good, I like watching the pay-per-views. I'm trying to figure out what it is about that I just, every time I watch it, I'm just like, I can't watch, even when it's great. Mania's great. Rumble's great. The pay-per-views, I will watch the pay-per-views. You go, hey, Sam, we got to, it's this time of year. Great.
Yep.
I think for me, it comes down to the way it's produced and the way it looks. Because even though the shows are great, the matches are great, I'll put it like this. I'm a big film guy. I love movies.
Mm-hmm.
I will stop watching the greatest movie ever made if the voices are out of sync by even milliseconds.
Fair enough.
That messes with me.
Right.
So the thing I'm thinking I'm coming to learn about my like and dislike, and again, this isn't me saying I will never, ever, again, I make sure for this product that I keep in line with everything. And I love when LA Knight comes out, and I'm still very fascinated with the Roman story. I know a lot of people are getting, but anytime he comes out, I'm always like, I'm intrigued.
Yep. That was, for me, that was the best part of SmackDown on Friday, was we kicked off with Roman, and it was just like, all right, let's go. What's happening now? And it was a great segment.
So these are my takeaways from this. For me, and I know AEW's been rough. They need to, and it's, again, they're two different products. We got sports entertainment, we got professional wrestling over here. So I think people need to remember that.
Yep.
To me, I think the two things that for some reason, I do enjoy the AEW commentary. I do like the WWE commentary. There's some people that they do throw on, and I'm just like, like every so often, Michael Cole, he's been there forever. I don't know what it is. Maybe he just seems, he's been there for so long and he knows how to read the script really well.
Yeah.
It just there's a video, I don't know what podcast it was or what episode it was of Raw or SmackDown or something, where somebody goes through the table and he's just sitting there with the paper reading the script off. You can find that. He's like, oh God. Oh, like he just has the paper in his hand and he's like reading it.
Michael Cole?
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Oh yeah.
Poor Michael, man.
But then you bring Michael Cole, and then of course I would argue WWE's greatest commentator of the 2020s, good old Pat McAfee, comes out, and then it's a show. The commentary itself needs to be a show. That's pretty much
unhinged Michael Cole, and it is the best Michael Cole when he just goes ape shit on. It's just, oh my God.
But again, that was kind of like back again. What also made the Attitude Era. Okay, everything was great in the ring. Well, not everything, but there's a lot of great things going on there. Imagine if it wasn't JR or Jerry the King Lawler.
Exactly. Yeah, it would be completely different.
Yeah, imagine if you had the guys who are, some of this, they'll pull some sportscasters out and just throw them on. And it's just like, imagine them in the Attitude Era. You'd be like,
no,
you need to like, it's kind of like this show. I can listen to a lot of different wrestling podcasts, and there's a lot of people who just talk like this and they want to talk about wrestling. But we're here to talk about wrestling. We're here to get you involved. We're here to get you interested. So that's one of the little things that bothers me. And then the other thing, I think it's the overproduction. Sometimes, even now to this day, I'll watch it and there are so many camera changes in one match.
Believe it or not, they've cut down on the camera cuts so much because Vince McMahon loves his camera cuts. He tells what's his name, Kevin Dunn, to do 1,000 paper cuts. Yeah, because it's really what it feels like. It's paper cut with death by paper cuts. The camera cuts. He would do like 25 in like a 5-minute segment, and my eyes are like, they're gonna start bleeding. Please stop doing this. But
yeah, you get sick feeling.
Since Vince is no longer in charge of the day-to-day stuff with the shows, the camera cuts have considerably dropped, and it's a lot better, but there's still, I agree with you a little bit, there's still too many camera cuts. Just stay.
Yeah, and the one big thing, and again, it's going to happen, camera cuts are going to happen. I think the one that's always bothered me, even when, and I go back to when I was little and I was watching it in the early 2000s, I remember, they do like a power slam, or they do like a body drop, and it's like the camera would cut as soon as they'd fall. Yeah. And it was something about it. It was like you blinked and you're like, did I miss it?
Right. No, I completely understand what you're saying. Yeah, absolutely.
And again, they're going to happen, and things are not going to line up. Sometimes you're going to have it cut at that time. Okay. But I'll have to go watch recent episode of Raw and SmackDown. Raw's
Believe
another
me,
one.
the Raws are not as bad as they used to be. Like,
Well, it's still
No,
3 hours.
been,
It's still the 3-hour thing where I'm like, oh my
well, just no. What you can do is
with
segments and
commercials, it's like
commercials
2:15 tops. You just DVR through the commercials, you're fine.
and
god.
entrances.
Where they cut out what, like an hour of content?
Pretty much. You can watch it on Hulu. I think they still have 2-hour versions on Hulu.
All right, I have to look at that. But no, that was my little rant. You know, people can take that as it will. You know,
it's a valid rant. That's what we do here on Final Bedlam. We rant. We go to town. It's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
My first one. Yeah, let's go.
First of many.
We're coming to the end of the show already. It's the end of the show. It's the end of the year, but that does not mean it's the end of everything. We're going into 24, which we've already talked about. CM Punk's making his first return back to a Mania and a Rumble in like almost 10 years at this point.
Yep.
You know, we're looking at, you know, AEW's potential, you know, whatever deal they get with TV. We're hearing rumors that Raw might not even be on Mondays with their new contract that comes out. It's a lot of
I think they'll stay on Mondays, honestly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, 2024, what are we most looking forward to? Besides Scott and I being at Mania 40. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's kind of huge.
And actually, that's our first. No, that's not our first event together. It was Takeover, but no, it's our first Mania together.
That is. It is. Yeah. Oh man. I'm always looking forward to the Rumble. For me, it's always my favorite pay-per-view is to go to the Royal Rumble. I love Mania because obviously it's the spectacle, it's the whole thing. I'm so incredibly happy that it's 2 nights and it's going to be 2 nights for the rest of time. Until they decide to copy New Japan and be 3 nights over, you know, multiple weeks, but who knows?
Actually, the Tokyo Dome's 1 night this year.
Is it only 1 night? Holy shit!
Again.
Wow, that's a surprise. I did not expect that. All right, fair enough. Touche. What else? I mean, like in wrestling, like I want to see the return of total nonstop action doing good things in wrestling again. TNA coming back, Impact Wrestling. Thanks for coming. Get the F out. TNA is back. I want to see good stuff. I have high hopes for them. I hope they get a better TV deal so I can actually have to watch them without being able to pay an absorbent amount of money to get the channel. Maybe just do the YouTube thing for now.
I would. It's cheap there, but
yeah,
I got Fight Network here.
But yeah, I'm happy to. I want to see them do well. Obviously, I'm very interested, at least on the WWE side, to see who gets called up from NXT and see where they go from there. I'm not going into next year being like, all right, well, wrestling's doing what it's doing. I have high hopes for a lot of companies. So, yeah.
Me too. And us, well, since we're telling 2024, am I allowed to bring up the pick shows for 2024 for a second? With Ring of Honor.
Well, we'll table that. I think that's a conversation we can have off air, so we can figure out what's going on with that. But yeah.
No, but I'm pretty excited for the Wrestle Kingdom, obviously, but like Mania 2, Rumble. I mean, Rumble's like my favorite WWE pay-per-view. I mean, the last couple, like not the last 2 years. Last year's or this year, I think I'm already thinking it's 24. 23 was pretty good. Actually, I really like both of theirs. Last year, 2022's wasn't too bad. 21's, which is way too predictable.
Yeah.
Can't remember 2020's too well, to be honest.
That was
that was
the
last. No, that was good. That one was good. I forgot. Yeah, that was really good.
Live event before COVID, or the last live pay-per-view before COVID.
Yeah. No, Chamber was.
Is it Chamber?
Chamber.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Because then everything closed down the following month. Because Sam and I had tickets to go to that WrestleMania at Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah, we were all
COVID
good to
ruined
go.
everything.
We were good to go on that one.
Yep.
But we're going to 40, which, I mean, looking back now, I mean, and I guess the show would have been different.
Yeah.
If, things didn't happen.
Yep.
But I'm super excited for this one. This is 40. This is a landmark. 40 years of WrestleMania.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited to go to Mania. Go to Philly. Scott and I gotta figure out the rest of the trip, what we're doing, the other events we're gonna do. Really curious to see what happens with AEW. Really curious, does Warner Brothers re-sign them? Do they pick, somebody else pick them up? If Tony finally breaks down and goes, okay, I can't, do the Vince McMahon thing. I think less aggressive, less more like, I'm just going to, screw you guys. I think Tony's more of a, I think I can do this kind of guy. It's like, Tony, you did a great job establishing it. So let's do some constructive critiques and make things work correctly. Right. So there's that. WWE, I think we're going to be looking at the first full year with Endeavor.
Yep. That's true too.
So we'll be looking at that. How will things work? How are things going to cross? Obviously they're owned by UFC. Sorry, Endeavor owns UFC and them. Curious to see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make the argument, I think TNA is going to be a big player. I think people, again, the IWC, if you're listening to this, or if you're a casual fan who knows the name TNA, kick rocks, educate yourself.
Yep.
TNA has improved its product.
It has.
I would, and I've said this for a long time before you were on the show, Ethan. I started to say Impact was becoming Ring of Honor with a better budget. Like it was hard to watch a TNA an Impact show and go. Even actually, there was one of the times Scott stayed with me. It was Hell in a Cell, and then what was the Impact pay-per-view that weekend?
Slammiversary, because it was right. It was right after the big layoffs from WWE, and Slammiversary. Impact kept pushing that people were going to sign, and even we made a big deal out of it too. And that was great. We got to watch Slammiversary, then Hell in a Cell. Then we get to do probably. I think we've been podcasting now for 3 going into 4 years, and that was the first time we actually got to do it in person and not over Zoom.
And Tina, it was fun watching that paper.
It was.
If I think about it, there's just something about that one. It's funny. That one comes to mind. We ordered pizzas. You and I just sat down for the weekend. We might have done things during the day, but we were just like, yeah, man, this is going to be fun. We're just going to sit here and watch good old, again, TNA. I'm all on board. I hope I get some extra time this year coming up. Obviously, we got some big projects coming from Above the Ring plus some.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll talk about that in 2024.
In 24, we got some.
And that's how we're going to end this podcast here with that tease.
Well, you know what? This is what I'm going to say. January 1st, 2024, keep out for a video on the YouTube channel.
Yep.
Ooh.
Keep out for a video. We'll have that, and we'll have something else. So, guys, this has been 23. It's been a great year. 24 is going to be an even better year. So, without further ado, if you don't already do so, please make sure you follow us on X, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Especially YouTube. We are pushing YouTube really hard, especially in 24. That's going to probably be our focal point. We will have the shows on Spotify, on Apple Music, on wherever you get your podcasts. But YouTube, that's where we're going to put a lot of focus on content. On that, make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review. Tell people why Above the Ring is the wrestling podcast of your choosing, why they should listen to us as well. This has been Final Bedlam 3. We'll look forward to seeing you guys in 2024. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and a Festivus for the rest of us, and a Happy New Year. As always, guys, do not forget to join the Bedlam.